Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signore. Man, we just had some more news from D23. I just dropped the Mandalorian trailer reaction, and I'm still jazzed. That looks really damn good. But man, Disney Plus just launched a ton of new information, and I'm going to go through it all with you, just like I did the Marvel breakdown from Comic-Con. I put it all in some doc notes quickly. I tried to do it as quickly as I could and get as much intel as I could from that Hall Disney H thing that they call it. But here we go. The big news first out the gate. I mean, we already knew Kit Harington was being teased. He might be involved in any of these upcoming shows we're about to talk about. Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. We don't know who he's going to play. Could be Adam Warlock. Could be a lot of people. But now there's 3 new shows to speculate. Maybe he's someone I'm about to say. Anyway, Kamala Khan herself was announced this sort of leaked right before, but this is now in the works. And Biggin, she's going to be the first Muslim superhero to star in her own comic book title. That she started in her own comic title, now her first Marvel show. This will be a series. That's all the information's there. It's going to be, she's the person who did the Hulu remake of 4 Weddings and a Funeral is writing. I don't know. Anyway, I know a lot of people are happy about her. I haven't read her comics. I don't know. But hey, this is interesting. And I like this character and new female heroes. If you're going to do it, let's see some new people, put them in the Plus series, and whoever connects and works, I'm sure will upgrade into the bigger shows. So I think that's a good sign. So Miss Marvel finally coming. I'm sure people are going to be confused. Miss, Captain. I actually always was. I had to do my homework to sort of sell the difference. They all were versions of Captain Marvel. Anyway, she was first out, and they revealed that. There's the new logo. I dig it. And that's coming. All of these first 3 shows, we don't know when. They said in the near future. But next up, Moonknight. Now, this could be who Kit Harington is playing. That's my big guess. Everyone keeps saying Keanu Reeves, but I don't know. They just announced this. This is a big one. I think this is like their version of Batman. He's like a crazy person. I gathered some notes just to help remind me so I didn't get lost while I'm doing this. But as some of these notes I pulled, yes, he's like Batman version, but crazy. Mentally disturbed mercenary turned superhero with a dissociative identity disorder who may or may not communicate with the lunar god. It gives him superhuman strength under the light of the moon. And this is interesting, but Kevin Feige himself said on stage that this is an action-adventure series about a mercenary left for dead in the desert. Does he have his powers? Is he crazy? Sign me up. I'm excited. Next up on the list was She-Hulk. Now, this one fascinates me. I'm going to be honest. I think this one's crazy because for those that know, she's like a lawyer in the comics. She's Bruce Banner's cousin and gets injected and then immediately sort of becomes Smart Hulk. So I sense that's going to be a connection of the Smart Hulk from the MCU now. We'll have to have some version where he has to help her. She becomes She-Hulk. The comics are, as I recall, are funnier. So this could be sort of like a funnier legal drama if they did it right. So I'm fascinated by She-Hulk. I think this could be a lot of fun if they do it well. And then that's a fun character to have pop up as a lawyer to handle like the superhero cases out there. So this is an angle I'm on board for. So massively big news to have those big 3. Those are 3 big comic characters: Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, now also on Disney Plus, and sort of reiterates how busy Kevin Feige is going to be. And all 3 of these, honestly, I'm more interested than anything else they've sort of announced previously. So Phase 5 is going to be pretty fascinating. This is how it's all laying out. We have all these shows, and then they announced 23 episodes of What If, and I'll get to a little bit of what they talked about of these shows. But I'm sort of already over these, and I'm like, yes, let's see these. Let's go to the later half. And I'm curious. I guess that's going to be part of Phase 4. So it seems. So TBD what that means. Does that mean more movies will be peppered in throughout these and Phase 4 grows? This is a Disney official graphic, and it looks like they're counting these new 3 shows as Phase 4, and they saved them for D23, but didn't announce any castings or anything, so they must be a lot further along. I'm guessing now they're starting to cast, and these probably would leak, so why not use D23 as the way to do that? Up next, then they talked about Sharon Carter is going to be part of Falcon and Winter Soldier, along with Wyatt Jones, who's potentially John Walker from the comics. I don't know who that is, but somebody important. But those are the 2 characters they revealed. They came out on stage, the 2 of them, and had a lot of fun. Then they talked about WandaVision. Now, this one is just getting battier and battier as we go. They're now introducing Kat Dennings from Thor: The Dark World and Thor, the annoying Darcy, the intern. Somehow she's now involved in WandaVision, along with Jimmy Woo, who was the government agent, played by Randall Park in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I don't know what's going on, but what was more interesting is apparently they showed a sizzle reel of like the Dick Van Dyke show from the 60s, and they were sort of trying to tease the tone. It hasn't shot yet, but they're going for like a 50s, 60s vibe, and apparently Feige said, or some of them on stage, it's like half adventure, half sitcom. So consider me intrigued, but it's a little weird how it's all coming together. I mean, they also announced Kathryn Hahn, who's really funny from Bad Moms, a lot of really funny stuff. She will be playing a nosy neighbor, so as part of the sitcom thing. This makes me think of that Mr. Robot plot. Does anyone remember that when they did an episode of Mr. Robot and an elf showed up and he's crazy and he's in a sitcom? I wonder if that's what's happening with the show. This is my prediction, that they will have a series where she's into the multiverse, she's going crazy, she's part sitcom, part other things. Maybe Vision's coming back to her in Visions. A lot of this stuff could be happening to sort of justify the craziness, the multiverse, and her going baddie. So interesting. Well, I'm sitting down to see. What if they said 23 episodes? That's a lot of episodes that they can do. And that was really all the MCU news summed up quickly. Pretty exciting, I think, but a lot of TBD information still. Nothing massively like, oh, wow. I mean, aside from those reveals, that was of the shows, no more casting or other big notes. They didn't mention Spider-Man, but they have talked about director John Watts from, they're now apparently trying to sign him up for a Marvel movie, which is pretty messed up because if Sony was the one who hired him, you got to stay loyal to Sony, man, even though MCU seems like the next big thing. Anyway, next up, they a lot more Disney properties I want to go through, some of which I think look fun. I'm a huge I forgot my hat today, but I'm a huge Monsters University fan and Monsters, Inc. Monsters University, I think, is criminally underrated. It's a really good film. I remember watching that with my son over and over again, and has more layers than I think people give it credit for. So I'm excited for Monsters at Work. This is the graduated from Monsters U and ready for the real world. Get a look at Monsters Work's new Tyler and Millie. And this show's coming in 2020. But look, this looks cute. I like this idea. It's sort of a combo. I like that Mike and Sully are back working, and we're moving forward in the plot. And we got some new characters. There's enough of a cool world here where you could create a fun, ongoing, reoccurring. So you got to remember, Disney used to do this all the time. Aladdin, Little Mermaid, they all had shows. So I don't mind this idea of Monsters University turning into a half-hour narrative type of format. I think they could do it. The characters are lovable enough. The world's cool. Let's see where it goes. So I'm excited for that one. Then this one apparently elicited groans from the crowd, but they're going to do a collection of shorts from Pixar called Forky Asks a Question. And look, that sounds cute and all, but that's clearly like one of those things that you just do quickly to sort of feed the beast of we need content. And so now it looks like there's a new Toy Story series that's going to be little shorts that they can click through and not justify the price. So good on them. Then they announced a Phineas and Ferb, the movie Candace Against the Universe, an original film exclusively. I actually like the show. This was a fun show for kids. And so I'm not surprised that they're bringing this back and doing something major, doing the movie 4+. I'm sure people are excited. Next up, they announced this should have been tomorrow for the Disney movies panel, but I guess they wanted to announce they must have more to do tomorrow. They announced that, because tomorrow's last Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. I can't even remember anymore. Who cares? Noelle is the new movie starring Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader, and Billy Eichner. Now, when I saw this, I was like, okay. Saving Christmas Together. Oh joy! Like this could be I like Christmas movies. I like that Kurt Russell one on Netflix was actually not terrible. It was nice just have a fun original Christmas movie. But I gotta be honest, man. I watched the trailer. It's now online. You can watch it too. It's just criminally unfunny with all these people involved. It just was like, ugh, woof. It looks like overly Disneyfied version of Elf, where it's like she's Santa's daughter, he's the son, and he's now needs to inherit Santa's role, and she's playing Anna Kendrick, and Bill Hader's playing a less funny Bill Hader, and Billy Eichner's playing Billy Eichner, and it just feels like while it looks like an expensive Disney movie, it feels really thrown together, safe and Disneyfied, kind of whatever. So that's one of those like, let's just throw a bunch of famous people in, pay them really well, call it Disney, and we're done. So I hope I'm wrong. Maybe it's funnier in the trailer, but I mean the movie itself, but that was not a big excitement for me when I watched. Now, this is just weird. The World According to Jeff Golblum, a Nat Geo show on Disney Plus, where he will be talking about sneakers and ice cream and tattoos and sing a little bit too. But it looks like a sort of no reservations with Jeff Golblum driving around the world learning things. I mean, I'm curious. It's kind of a funny, weird connection, but why not? Jeff Goldblum's kind of fun, kooky, and wacky. So he's going to go on adventures, and you'll be able to watch that on Disney Plus as well. Next up, not a reboot, not a sequel. This is the start of something new. I have kids, so I know High School Musical. I had nieces before that, so I've known. I don't hate that franchise. I think it was great for kids, and this is not a sequel. What's interesting is High School Musical, the series. The premise is some kids who go to the same school that they shot High School Musical in have never seen the movie or put together the play. So a theater person, new teacher, tries to rally them all together to put on a High School musical at the school they did it. So look, at least they're trying something different with it. That means you could still have Zac Efron come in as Zac Efron. So if they did this well, I could see this being fun for kids. Another way to sort of use the IP, which rather than do the reunion, which I think would be too much, this at least will let them continue. Next up, a lot of other just random stuff I'm going to breeze through. Encore is a reality show from Kirsten Bell, and it's like a reality show where adults come back to high school to redo their theater program and go back to their roots. This looks weird. I mean, it looks like a feel-good, really well-edited, like NBC reality show, but I don't know. I'm not going to tune into that one. Then they released Stargirl, which is not Marvel. It's just an indie teen romance starring America's Got Talent winner Grace VanderWaal. She's a singer, and I don't know who this is, Graham Vercheer. Anyway, this is like apparently looked like nothing anyone's seen before that Disney had done. So interesting teen romance series trying to up the production value. Also introducing Diary of a Female President, about a little girl who ends up being the president, starring Gina Rodriguez. And then they announced that the entire collection of animated classics from the Disney Vault and the whole Pixar catalog will be on Disney Plus. And another dog movie we'll get to Lady and the Tramp called Togo with Willem Dafoe is announced, and they showed a clip. It's based off a true story based in Alaska, as well as Timmy Failure Mistakes Were Made. A sassy, sarcastic kid who gets into some funky situations. A lot of kid stuff makes sense. And then big news there, Lizzie Mcguire is back with the same creator. I didn't watch that show, but Hilary Duff walked out on stage to like massive screams. She's now celebrating her 30th birthday with her dream job and a dream guy living in Brooklyn. Hey, but look, that makes sense. It's an old IP. She's looking for work. Fuller House, Girl Meets World. They're all doing really well. I think That's So Raven is back. So of course Lizzie Mcguire would come back. They're also doing a reality show, Be Our Chef. Good title. A Disney Plus cooking show where families compete to make the best dish that'll be served at Walt Disney World. So even there you can get to the parks. And then finally, I'm so excited. Finally, another attempt at the Muppets. Muppets Now, a new short form unscripted series. I'd love to tell you more, but Joe the Legal Weasel behind me said, hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. I'm so blank to announce the Muppets brand new unscripted short form blank series. It's called Muppets Now, premiering only on Disney Plus in 2020. It's going to be blank, 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 blank. Best of all, it will feature celebrity guest stars like blah, 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 blah. We're so blah, 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 blah. To share more, and thanks to lovers and dreamers, and restricted until I say so, Joe the Legal Weasel and fabulously yours, Kermit the Frog. I love Kermit. I love Muppets. I'm glad they wisely are using that brand. Perfect place to throw them on Disney Plus and try and have the old shows. There are old Muppet shows they could probably pull out of the archives. And then they got to Lady and the Tramp. The trailer is online. You can watch it. Every day could be an adventure. Watch the new trailer. Here it is, reimagining a timeless classic. Streaming, a lot of this is streaming on November 12th, the stuff I've been reading recently, not the Marvel stuff. But I gotta be honest, this looked kind of cute, and I like that it's real dogs. These are rescue dogs, and they're clearly computerifying them, and that made them more. But when I watched, and I don't want to show the footage because I don't want to get dinged here, but they brought out these rescue dogs, Yvette and Harley from the set, and there they are. And then it's voiced by Jason, what's his name? I forget his name. Jason Thrux, and Tessa Thompson is voicing the cast. But it looks pretty beautiful, actually, and I like that they sort of are giving them the emotion, but still using the dogs. They're using the dogs like as the skeleton, but then adding some animation to it, unlike it feels like Lion King. And dude, I love the Lady and the Tramp. It's a really short, sort of weird movie at times, but I'm a fan of it. And so this idea of using the real dogs and recreating these scenes, I think this one could be okay. And I like that it's on Plus. So I was on board. The trailer sold me. My kids were liked it. And then we got to Star Wars, and I already did a video on that, but obviously Diego Luna, Cassian Andor series. And this was the one interesting thing I want to talk about, which I failed to do in my Mandalorian. I didn't realize it's the age of the Republic, the age of the rebellion, and the age of the resistance is how they're sort of identifying these periods, but all the Star Wars stuff will be Rebels, everything. It's all gonna Clone Wars. It's all on gonna be on Disney Plus. So that's intriguing and fun and cool, and that's all the stuff laid out. And then obviously they announced Obi-Wan and The Mandalorian, which just looks sick. I got to be honest, it just looks really cool. Jon Favreau is gonna, I think, slay that one and finally get us, at least me, excited again about Star Wars. But there you have it. Lots of Disney Plus stuff, and then obviously a catalog of movies and Marvel movies. They announced a preview that sort of showed what's coming, but it has Lion King, the remake, lots of stuff from the summer. Obviously, all will be available on November 12th when Disney Plus is launched for, I believe it's still $6.99. Man, I remember launching my own subscription service, and we charged only $2 less, and we did do a lot of content, but man, to think all of this original Marvel, Star Wars, everything for $6.99, that's a steal, guys. We completely overpriced ours, clearly. A lot of other reasons that failed, but I think Disney's right on the money here. That's a fair price point. It's going to be a huge out library. Parents are going to want this. Adults are going to want this. I'm on board. I'm going to try it, and I think you will all too. So kudos for Disney. I mean, even The Simpsons is going to be on there. So much amazing stuff that I can't deny. Disney's doing it right. They've prioritized this. They think there's serious money in streaming. Clearly, they think Netflix is making a ton. I mean, they must. Where are they getting all that funding otherwise? So what are you going to do? Are you going to buy Disney Plus? What's your most exciting thing? Obviously, the Marvel stuff is pretty massive. But aside from even that, any of those other things excite you at all? Is it too kiddie for you? Do you feel like there's enough here for your price? Tell me down in the comments below what you're excited about. Which Marvel of those three shows do you think is good? Is not going to be good? We'll be talking more about that throughout the week, but I want to make sure I get you all. Please check out my trailer for my new show. Click it right here. It's showing up. And stay tuned tomorrow, Saturday night at 10 p.m. I'm going to be doing a live, another Q&A. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. So please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thank you so much for watching.